Hi Flosstube, I'm Lorna, known as 5stitcher on here, and this is my first Flosstube video. I've thought about doing them for a while, but I've never quite plucked up the courage, and now I have, so I'm trying. So thank you to Tracy P for encouraging me to do so. So I thought I would start by doing the little bit of the get to know your needleworker tag and the year in review, although I didn't really do a whole year last year, but I'll go through what I've got. So stitching wise, I have been stitching for probably about 30 years now. I was 11 when my mum conned me into doing it. I kept refusing to do cross stitch whenever she tried to get me a kit, and she eventually bought a kit, a little tiny butterfly, and put it in my Christmas stocking and marked it as coming from my Nana, and then said, wouldn't it be lovely to do it for your Nana? Conned big time. So did that little kit, got hooked, have been doing it since. I had a break for probably about 8 years after I had my daughter, because I just did not have the time to stitch, and one of my WIPs that I'll show you later I have been doing since before she was born. So I'll go into all that later. So we'll do the getting to know your needleworker tag. So obviously I've said my name's Lorna. Where do I live? I live in Glenrothes, which is in Fife, which is in Scotland. So if you're looking on the map of Scotland, I am on the east coast. Fife is the area that is squished right between Edinburgh and Dundee. It's a little county, but there seems to be plenty of us because I've met a few other stitchers on Stitch Mania and various other of the cross-stitch groups that all live in Fife. So who knew? What do I do for a living? I am a registered nurse, and I work at the local acute hospital, and I am a critical care nurse, which means I work with the sickest patients in the hospital. So job can be very stressful at times, and cross stitching gets me through. Do I have any other hobbies other than cross stitch? Yes, I do. I play the double bass, which is sitting staring at me. It's in the other corner, and I play in a local amateur orchestra, which I've got rehearsal for that tonight. I say amateur, but he's got us playing fairly professional stuff this year. We're actually going to be playing Rapsdale Blue. So we have someone coming in and playing obviously the piano for that, and the rest of us doing that. So that's a fairly hard piece for an amateur orchestra to do. Do I have any kids? Yes, I have two. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. He's just turned 6 last month, and he can be a pain in the butt. And anyone else with 6-year-olds will understand that. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have one cat. She's a tortie. We have 4 Shelties. My partner breeds them. So we have 4 adult Shelties, and at the moment I have 3 puppies who I would show you just now, but they're all sound asleep. Just double check, yes, they're all sound asleep. What is your favourite movie? I think if it was coming down to it, my ultimate favourite movie of all time would be Amadeus. I love it. I love it. But it comes down to my mood a lot of the time. But that is probably the one that I could put on, and it doesn't really matter what mood I'm in, I will watch it and enjoy it. What are your favourite TV shows? I have a few. There's quite a few that I like on Netflix just now. I think one of them's, and I've completely forgotten the name of it now. It's the newer one with Kiefer Sutherland in it. Someone else will probably remember, and it'll probably come back to me when I stop thinking about it. But I'm enjoying that one on Netflix, and other ones, Grey's Anatomy is a big favourite. And no, don't ask me to watch Casualty in the UK because I can't stand it. What is my favourite music genre? Well, obviously I play in an orchestra, so yes, I do like classical music and I will listen to classical music. I wouldn't say it's my utmost favourite, but I do like classical music. I have fairly eclectic taste. I like what I like. Favourite band is Muse, so therefore I think you would say that I'm an alternative music style person, but I like anything. I like stuff from the 60s, I like stuff particularly from the 80s, but that was because I was growing up in the 80s and that's what I was listening to. So yeah, a lot of what I listen to is the 80s, I would say. What is your favourite book? I'm one of these weird people that can read a book over and over and over again and get the same enjoyment out of it all the time. My favourite book that I haven't been back to for a while, but I do enjoy reading it when I go back, is Maeve Binchy, Echoes. It was the first adult book that I read that wasn't aimed specifically at children or teenagers. It was my door buzzer going because the wind's blowing it. It's one of my favourites. I do like the Maeve Binchy books. I did shed a tear when she died, but yeah, that would be my ultimate go-to favourite book. What one word describes you? I don't know if I have a word that I would use to describe me. If you ask anyone at my work, they would probably say moany, because I moan, but I only moan if there's a reason to moan. I'd rather let it out than let it fester and bother me. So yeah, I probably do moan quite a bit. So on to year in review. So I got this off of Jessie Does Stitching. I could be wrong, I don't have it in front of me, I forgot to write it down, but I pinched it off of her video. So I'm going to do it favourite and least favourite. So my favourite WIP, and I actually think I've forgotten to bring my least favourite one down the stairs, but I'll describe it to you. So my favourite WIP at the moment is probably, we'll go for this one. I'll be showing you a bit more closely in my WIPs, but the Lakeside Fantasy Sal, and that's how far I am on that. But I'll show you a bit more. I'll wind it down and show you a bit more when I go through the WIPs. My least favourite WIP from last year, I bought on Etsy from, I think it was Stitchering. It's the Hogwarts crest, and I had great plans to do it for my daughter, and I started it and I was going great guns with it, and I've completely fallen out of love with it. Mainly because I was stitching and stitching and stitching, and I kept stitching grey, and I was like, when's the colour coming in, when's the colour? And I don't know why I hadn't noticed that all the animals in the crest were in grey. Either in the light grey or the dark grey, there was no colour to them. And that bugged me. As a Harry Potter person, that bugged the hell out of me, and right now I can't get past it, and so it's not been worked on for a couple of months because of that. I've got another one, and I probably would have unpicked it all, but measuring the material and going with the other pattern that I've got where all the crest animals are in their colours, it won't fit on the material that I've got, so I need another piece of material for it, and I haven't picked one yet. So when I do, I'll probably start on that one again, but for now, yeah, that one's a UFO. I may finish it at some point just for the hell of it, just to get it finished, but there it is. So my finish for the year, and I've left it out in the other room, probably my very favourite finish of the year. 2 seconds. Very favourite finish of the year is my jacket. It was hanging out on in the corridor, so ignore any dog hairs. But yes, I stitched this bad boy. So this is my orchestra jacket that they decided to get, and I got the pattern for the base clef love hearts, and I used waste canvas, and then I used the lettering I got from the DMC Designed by Me range, and just wrote base, and obviously in the love heart, and it was just the DMC variegated threads. And someone gave me a fantastic idea. They hadn't done it on fleece, but they'd done a sweatshirt, and she said put material on the back, which is what I did, and I love it. I think it looks fantastic. My partner not so much. Oh, sorry, I nudged you. But I love it. It's my favourite finish of the year. I don't think I've got a least favourite finish of the year. I don't think I've got a lot of my finishes from last year, because what I did have were given away to people. Final finished object, that would be my jacket, because I was really quite chuffed, because sewing through it was really hard work. You couldn't put it in a hoop, because else it would all just shrink back in and it wouldn't look right. So I ended up having to sit on these lovely hardback chairs that I'm sitting on right now, sitting on one of them, the jacket draped over the back of another one, and stitching freehand through the back of that, and it got really sore. My fingers got really sore with pushing the needle through that thick material. It was really hard work, but I got it done, and I was so thrilled when I did get it done. Favourite new start? That was probably it as well. Least favourite new start, I think I've covered that. That would be the stitch ring. There it is. Favourite tool that I found? I don't know if you'd count this as a tool. I'm going to show you this one. I found this on Amazon. It's actually down as a knitting pattern holder. It cost about £16. And I thought, oh, that looks like it'll be handy for carrying patterns around. Yeah, it is. It's big bad boy. It's big, and it closes up, and you open it up, and I've already flipped the pattern round, so we're okay. But you open it up, and it's got magnetic board, and it's got an area where you can put bits and pieces, pens. In fact, it's got a pen. It's got everything you'd need. So yeah, pricey, but I think it's worth it. So that for me was my tool find of last year. I'll put that away just now, because I'll need that in a minute. Technique. I don't think I've learnt any new techniques so far that I didn't know. I think it's just that last year it was learning about the Q-snaps. Never heard of them. So yeah, I've been using a few of them, and just getting to know my stitching again, because I've been off it for so long. So getting to, in fact, probably material wise, the hand dyed materials, they were not around 10 years ago when I stopped stitching, and you come back in and you've got all these hand dyed threads and hand dyed materials. They're amazing. Amazing, and I love working with them. So I'm going to go on and show you some of my finishes. I think we'll get the first big one out of the way, because I think you've probably all been looking at it instead of looking at me. My big Noelle in the background. She was the first piece I did on even weave. She was the first piece I did with beads. The first one I worked on with metallic threads. There was a lot of firsts in that one, and she's the only one I have had professionally framed. I've just watched Pip Stitches. Hello Pip. I've just watched his second Flosstube today, and he was saying about how cheap it was, you know, well, relatively cheap compared to the States. That one, and we're going back some, probably at least 16 years. That was done and framed and had been up on the wall for good few years before I had my daughter. So yeah, that framing cost about £85. Professionally done. We had to send it down. We sent it down to a girl who we bought frames off at a craft show, and she brought it up, I think, to the October one. She took me about 9 months in total to stitch, and sent it down to her, picked it up from her when we went to the craft show, and yeah, 85 quid. But that's the framing and the mounting that she did. It's amazing. It's been up on the wall since we moved in here. It's not been down from the wall unless we've painted. Yeah, she's stunning. She's probably my favourite finish of all time. And in my little pile here I have the spring one to show you. Got lots of them. Got them all. So other finishes, I've got this little one, and you'll see in a minute from the date when I finished it. But I've got this one. It's actually a Christmas card, Christmas decoration design. I've stitched the bigger one of this, and at some point I'm going to start stitching the bigger one of this again. There's a story, but I'll come to that in a minute. Christmas 2015 I finished it, so it's been finished for a year. I was going to finish it for this Christmas, and I found the pattern that had the little oval to cut out, so you could cut out the cardboard so you could put this and finish it off properly. I couldn't find this. I've now found this. I can't remember where I've put the pattern. Doing really well. The bigger version of this is very similar. You just see on the bigger one, you just see more of the bed. In fact, you see the bottom of the bed, and the colours coming off it are amazing, and more of the toys on the shelf, and a little bit more of the window. I had stitched it for a friend of my mum's years ago. It was her that I got the pattern off of. Stitched it up for her. She'd been sent it by a family friend. She didn't do cross stitch, and I was probably about 14, 15 when I did it for her, and she let me keep the pattern. And so I kept the pattern. It's all DMC colours. This one's the Dimensions mini kit version of it, but the other version I can't remember, but it was all DMC colours. And I did it again for myself, and then it got lost when we moved. I've got the other pieces from when we moved. I can't find that one. I don't know where it's gone. Completely devastated. It hadn't been framed. It was waiting to be framed, as are a couple of the other ones that I'm going to show you. But yeah, I enjoyed stitching it, so I'm not going to be too upset at stitching it again. Next finish is, it's part of a round robin that I'm on, so I'm only going to show you the bit that I've done because the whole piece isn't mine. I was part of a round robin, and this was for Charlotte. This is her design, and there's my phoenix that I did for her, and I love it. It's gorgeous. The colours in it just are so beautiful, and then all this back stitching in the tail is purple Kreinik, and so are the French knots up here, and then there's gold Kreinik in the wings, and I don't think you're going to quite get the sparkle on here, and there's gold Kreinik coming off, and it's just stunning. I love it, and I'm going to be posting that to her this afternoon. Next finish, I'm probably going to have to stand up for this, is a partner to this one. It is Celtic Spring. She's yet to be framed, but she's been finished for quite a few years. I probably finished her before I had my daughter because I have not had time. I've got autumn and summer ready to do. I haven't managed to do them yet, but that's my Celtic Spring as well. I'll bring her a bit closer so you can see. But they are an absolute pleasure to stitch. They really are just so easy. Once you get going on them, I quite enjoy stitching them. That's her. And the last one is my Santa stamp. Oh no, in fact no, I've got another one underneath it. So I've got Santa stamp, and I stitched him many years ago. He's a Dimensions kit. I do like my Dimensions kits. I just like the colours in them, but he just needs a frame. them to one side. And the last one, I did finish this one last year as well, just when I got my stitchy bug back up and pulled it out, and I'd started it probably a couple of years ago and then never done anything with it. But it's the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, basically. A wee power nap one. Little puppy having a nap. That again is a Dimensions kit. On to my WIPs. I'm going to start with my oldest one. This is the one that I started before I had my daughter. I'm just going to sort the thread. I don't know what's going on with the thread there. I also don't know why there's a magnet on the front of the cap. So this is my Maggie the Messmaker. Let me take her down a bit. I started working on her, I think, when I discovered that I was pregnant with my daughter, and then didn't have time for stitching like I would have liked. She's nearly done. She is so nearly done, it's really frustrating. So there is Maggie. Maggie the Messmaker. So I just have this whole section here to do, which is fairly dark work. It's all sort of woodwork, and there's a little dog hiding down the corner here. But it's, I think this bit's going to be fairly light, and then the bottom is fairly dark. Every so often I pull her out again, I work on her, and I do enjoy it while I work on her, but sometimes it's pretty hard going. And that's Maggie. I'm going to give her a little roll back up. And these are my easy clip frames. I love my easy clip frames. So, put her away for a bit. My next one is, and I showed you this one slightly already, is my Lakeside Fantasy Cell. So I have done the September circle, the October circle, in fact no. Yeah, September, October, no, August, September, that's October. And then November, September going there. I'm actually swithering whether to do the November and December ones just now, or just whether to scroll it up and start doing my circles at the top and work down. I'm in two minds. I might just do that, I might not. We will wait and see. We'll wait and see how I feel about that one. Lakeside Under the Sea, where have I put it? Down here. It's on the big. Where have I put it? 2 seconds. And it's here. That's underneath everything. I just started this one yesterday. Pattern came out at the beginning of the month, and that's how far I've gotten that one so far. So you can see the outline of the octopus, but that's as far as I've got. The next one is the Jodery Christmas stitch along that I started last month. Didn't quite get as far as I would have liked. Got it to finish it off. Just haven't quite got that far yet. Let's take that down a bit. You can kind of see how far I've got. I've got the top corner finished. I've got that snowflake in the top corner finished. I've got all the ribboning done. I just need to continue it down here. Finish the reindeers, and then over this far side are some gingerbread men, and then the bottom there's like a wee chalet type design. So not finished for this Christmas, probably finish it next Christmas, we'll see. And then I have my first ever Heaven and Earth designs. This is what I'm holding in the big black book, so I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when it's finished. We'll see how long it takes me, but it is the I Solemnly Swear. It's a new design that came out, and it's by Sherry Gerhardt. I fell in love with it the instant I saw it. Harry Potter fan, it's got to be done. So that's that one. I am doing it on I should have been telling you the counts on the other ones, but if I do another video I'll tell you then. This is on 25 count magic guide. I'll put something at the back so you can see. And that's as far as I've got so far. Top corner, that's as far as that one's got. My next one is my Eeyore, which again is like my Maggie the Messmaker. I have been working on it forever. I found it in amongst my stash, which had been out of the garage probably for at least 8 years. We've been in this house 9 years now. Yeah, it had been out of the garage for that long. It's a baby sampler. I have no idea who I started doing it for. It certainly wasn't my daughter. It may have been my son. I can't remember. But I started doing the border in blue. So this is the only section I have left to do, which is white bubbles. Which you would think it's white, it's not that hard. But I discovered when I started doing it again that I tried to be smart when I'd done this white bit here, because when I came back to doing it I'd started going up here, so I just carried on the frame. So the whole border is done all the way around, the bubbles, or the little bubble bits are done all the way around, it's just this section here. But in my brightness I mixed the white that was in it with the anchor, not the anchor, the DMC metallic effects one, the white one. It's hellish to stitch with. I hate it. So that's why it's really not finished. But seeing as the friends that are having babies just now, one's having a girl, one's having twins, it's not going to suit either of them. So yeah, it'll get done. I'm just not in a hurry to finish it. The next one is my 10 a day, which is in this bag. So I've got the magazine so I can show you what it's going to look like. Should really be more organised, but I'm not. So this was out of Cross Stitch Crazy January 2017 edition, which came out in December, as these things do. It's a Belle and Boo, and it's called Snow Angels. Why Snow Angels, I don't know. I'm doing her for the 10 a day group, which basically is we stitch 10 stitches a day on a project. So you were to pick a project that was approximately 3,650 stitches in size, and yeah, I haven't done day 10 yet. This is my progress up to day 9, so I've got day 10 to do today, and this is where I am on this. So I'm using slightly different coloured fabric because I think the bird will show up more. I didn't like how the bird really didn't show up on the peach. Well, it says it's beige, but it looks peach to me. This is a Jodery material. Let me just get my, there we go, little bag. It was the November limited edition woolen mittens. As soon as it came out the bag, I thought, yeah, that's for her, because I think the bird will look fantastic on that. And should have been telling you about my needle minders as well. It's a little paw print that came from Needle Keep Emporium on Etsy. I'll put them away. I'm going to look forward to her actually coming together. She's going to look quite nice. Next one, I just put a stitch in it yesterday because I thought I better start it. It's for a colleague at work who is expecting twins. And it turns out she's having one of each, and my pattern was going to be fine for one of each. But I'd been looking through old magazines that my mum had given me. She gave me a whole bundle, and I literally just, sorry for anyone that's, I ripped the pages out. I ripped out what I wanted. I wasn't keeping all those magazines, I don't have room for them. So this is the pattern. It's called Twice as Special. It's specifically for twins. I kind of double looked at it when it was in the magazine and thought, will I, won't I, will I, won't I? I don't know anyone who's having twins, I might not. And then literally 2 weeks later, she announced she was having twins. So I'm stitching this one up with a slight different to the border. The pink, I'm going to use Joddery hand dyed threads for it. So the pink I'm going to do in this limoncello cherry pie. It's sort of pinks and yellows, and I think it's quite pretty. And then the blue I'm going to do in deep dive, which is blues and greens, and I think the two of them round the border are going to look quite pretty for a girl and a boy. And I'm doing it on fabric flare that I got from Lakeside Needlecraft. It's in Stormy Sea, which is kind of grey bluey colour, and I've literally just, I'll get it right in for you, just started the bottom of the duck on that side. And again, needle minders from Needlekeep Emporium. Ruby slippers. I'll wait. So I've made a start on it. I think she's expecting them next month. That she's due, her due date's in March. She could go any time. They're twins. So the bookmark's the last one to go. Started this one for the Hogwarts Stitch Along on Stitch Mania back in September. Yeah, never pulled it out again since. I'm doing the Hufflepuff one for my daughter because she sorted into Hufflepuff. Even though she's not 11 yet, she sorted into Hufflepuff. So yeah, I've just got the yellow to finish and then it's done. So I'll try and get that one done. And it came out of a book. I'll try and cover it because technically there's a pattern there, because part of the book is a pattern, but it's a Harry Potter book that I got years ago. In fact, it's copyrighted 2001, so I probably bought it around about then. It's in French. Didn't realise that until I pulled it out the bag when I found it in the garage. So, ready to start designs are, I've got 8-bit stitch on Etsy. I discovered it when someone posted on, I think it was Stitch Mania. Could have been one of the other ones, and you know, this is my progress, this, you know. So I went and looked it up, and it's a Harry Potter stitch along, and it's the letters, so far it's the letters of Harry Potter. I think it was a fairly neutral colour you were to stitch it on, so I'm doing it on 18 count Ada, and it's another Joddery hand dyed fabric, and it's in bitter chocolate. Kind of see it there. It's just a brown with a bit of a creamy look to it. I haven't started that yet, but it's there, it's ready to start, but there's other things I'm enjoying working on more at the moment, and I just haven't started it yet. I'm also doing the Joddery calendar sal. I haven't started it yet. I've got the material, well, I've picked out my material, and I've decided that I'm not doing the border in black, I'm doing it in this blue Morpho butterfly from Joddery. I decided the blue was going to look nicer, and I'm using the September fabric of the month, which was Elvenwood. I'm going to do it on that because I think it will. I think those colours will do all year round, I think. And that's a 28 count Brittany. I'm going to be doing that one on when I finally start it. And then I'm doing the Cloud Factory stitch along, of which the first month just came out. So I don't have the pictures, but I'm sure there's enough of you doing it that you've already seen it. I didn't get the called for fabric. I ordered Princess Carrie from Joddery Designs. It was a bit more pink than they were suggesting, and I ordered the material, and then I think literally 2 days later I'd ordered a grab bag from Sparkly's I hadn't ordered from them before, but I got one of their grab bags just to try and see what it was like, and this material came through with it. And I sat down with my measuring tape and I checked it and checked it and checked it, and it is 32 count. It is the right size and it's blue. I don't know what the colour is. I'm going to just double it up. It might show a bit better. It's gorgeous blues, and as soon as I saw it, that was the material I was going to do that on. So I don't know what it's called. It didn't come with a name tag, obviously, because it was in the grab bag. I have no idea what it's called, but it's stunning and I liked it. And there was also a pink one in the bag as well, which I'm sure I'll find something to do later. I'm not going to use the Weeks Dye Works in it. I'm going to sub it out for Jodery colours. So I've got, and I don't have my bit of paper to tell me which ones I'm subbing them out for, but I'm sure those of you that are doing it might figure it out. So I'm doing Fairy Bower, which is sort of pinky white, greys and greens. And then Chinese Moon Moth. It's greys and sort of a reddy brown. And then you can always tell that I've already used this one, Purple Emperor Butterfly, which is just purples and blues and greys and is gorgeous when stitched up. I stitched a keyring in that, gorgeous. And then this one is Mermaid Lagoon, which is blues. So I think that's going to look quite nice. So I might start that one in the next couple of days, seeing as it's in. And then I have the Halloween cat from Satsuma Street. So that's what it looks like. I think a few of you have seen it and a few of you have done it. And I am going to do it on, this is from Chromatic Alchemy, it's 28 count Cashel and it's called Cirrus. And I've already got my needle minder ready for this one. But that's what it's going to go on. I've got my, I did intend to do it for Halloween, didn't happen. So I've got my pumpkin needle minder, Needle Keep Emporium again. And that's, I'm going to do that on. I'll probably start it the end of this month. One of the groups I'm in, Cross Stitch It's Fun, we're doing a designer stitch along, and it's this month it's Satsuma Street. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And then the last one I've got ready to rock and roll. The only thing I need to do is photocopy the pattern because I work from a working copy. I have got, as I said, I've got pretty much the only one I don't have of that full set is the Celtic Winter, because she's come out since I've done the rest of them. So I'm going to be doing the Celtic Autumn next. I'm doing the alternative colours. For some reason I do have, that's the original colours. It's the purple and greens. The alternative colours is the oranges and the greens and the browns, which I think looks more autumny. So I've got that ready to go. I did have sort of a mushroom material to do it on. I decided I didn't want to do that one. I think this is my Petra. I've lost the tag for it. I'm sure it was Petra. Chromatic Alchemy again, I'm sure. So that's what she's going to go on, is that green. I think it's 28 count even weave it'll be. I've stitched on linen a couple of times. I'm still getting used to stitching on linen, so. But I literally have everything ready to go. I've got all the beads ready to go. All the threads are on there, so everything's ready to go. I've got my Petite Treasure braid. It's all there, ready to go. I just need to start. And I think, oh no, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to make a biscornu. Cross stitch, it's fun. We're going to make a biscornu, and I had seen these before. This is the World of Cross Stitching issue 244. I think it came out tail end of the summer. And I saw these and I thought, oh, they look lovely. But then it scared the hell out of me trying to figure out how you're going to put it together, so I know I didn't. But we're going to do a Biscornu class, how to put them together. So got the material ready, just need to start. So I'll probably start on that in the next couple of days and hopefully have it done soon. And I think that's everything at the moment. I can't think of anything else. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my WIPs. I hope you enjoyed seeing my finishes. And please be kind. Let me know what you think. Let me know what might make it better. And let me know if you'd like to see more from me. This whole videoing myself, it's taking a bit of getting used to. As you can probably see from my neck, I start flushing. So please be kind, and I'll see you when I do my next video. Bye!